Hello, dear.
The words usually instilled a warm calm in her ever since she'd first heard them and seen the old lady in the tartan skirt and grey cardigan. The kind, slightly wrinkled face was almost as familiar as her own. As a journalist, I've become hardened and cynical to some of the nonsense people put forward in a courtroom. But when Santa started to defend himself, it was all I could do to sniff back a tear. "Madam!" His booming voice echoed around the ancient timbers. "I can't deny that much of what the prosecution says is true. The spirit of Christmas, its true meaning, has been wrecked." Suddenly, he caught sight of Ben cowering beneath the table. Well, well, what do we have here? Come on, boy, come on out. It's all right. No one's going to hurt you." Ben was still trembling, but there was something kind about the policeman's voice, something Ben liked and trusted. He waved his tail, inching his way out. His stomach churned as he stared in a detached, fascinated horror at the landscape which bucked and kicked beyond the confines of the cockpit. A voice crackled urgently through his headphones. "For goodness sake, man, pull up! You're getting into a dive!" "What do you think I'm trying to do?" He snapped into the helmet microphone, straining back deeply into the padded seat, muscles taut, fingers white as he gripped the joystick. Slowly, the horizon leveled out, and the green countryside began to fall away. Over the years, he'd come to accept that the marriage was ended. And even after the children left home, it was only held together for appearances. He had had a few flings, and no doubt so had Margaret. He was content to let life keep rolling along like that. But he did draw the line when she dropped the bombshell over breakfast one morning.
By the way,
She'd said nonchalantly, while clearing away the marmalade jar and butter dish.
can you move your easel and paints out of the pastel room tomorrow? I want to clean it in time for the weekend. I've invited someone over.
"Who?
Someone I want to spend the weekend with.
Who?" he insisted.
You don't know him.
Him?
Hunter spat the word.
What the hell are you playing?
Bradman stared through the aircar's window at the town lying silent and still as they sped towards the urban boundary and the wilderness beyond. The outback, where the McDonald conversion plant lay in the heart of the mountain range. He could scarcely believe what was happening. "Just who are you?" he ventured to ask. "How are you doing all this?" The old man eased the joystick to maneuver the car around a vehicle in front of them, suspended both in the air and in time. He glanced back over his shoulder at Bradman sitting in the rear.
Let's just say I'm utilizing forces of nature which you haven't learned to tap yet.
"But who are you?"
Enjoy the trip, Mr. Bradman.
"But what?"
If I were you, I'd start thinking how to rectify that malfunction in your reactor.
The old man gestured at the statuesque landscape beyond the aircars. Her soft, delicate features were stained by the tiny rivulets of tears, and she shook her head urgently, her face a mixture of fear and frustration.
John Till, think! I'm just over a quarter year pregnant. The baby will be born in the forbidden second quarter of the new year. We're going to have an Ash Days child.
That simple phrase slammed into him with all the force of a wooden club. A few seconds of numbness rooted him to the spot, giving her a chance to wrap her arms around his shoulders and cling tightly to him. He pushed her away, as if she were suddenly as hot as fire. "Oh, my God! The second quarter? An Ash Days child? Are you sure?" His momentary happiness at the prospect of becoming a father evaporated in a horrifying split second.